welcome back to another Remembering Forgotten Memories episode. It would normally be Throwback Thursday, but today it's Flashback Friday, although it's so late filming this, it probably won't even go up till early Saturday morning, so I don't know. But regardless, it's still part of the same series, and this one kind of borderline... Is it one of these, or is it a vlog? I don't know. I mean, it kind of has a foot in both worlds, but regardless, given the Queen's funeral was televised on Monday, I found there was like a lot of parallels with Princess Diana's. That was like, what, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, something like that. 30, I don't remember how many ago it was a long time ago, but regardless, I watched that too, and it's interesting how much of it was brought back, and I was kind of comparing and contrasting the whole time watching this one as a result. But yeah, so Princess Diana's. I was in, I think, 7th grade, maybe about to go into 8th. It was right in there. I believe it was like 1997, wasn't it? I think I was in 7th grade. I still remember the night that the news broke about that car crash and not knowing whether she was gonna live or die, and then the news that she had. I remember I was on my dad's computer. I don't even remember if I had actually gotten my own yet, or if I had and just didn't have internet on mine yet. But regardless, I was online, and I was looking at different Beatle websites, because of course I was, even way back then. And I think I was like looking up lyric sheets for Paul McCartney's Flaming Pie album. Never mind that the CD came with lyrics. No, I was just browsing websites and they happened to be on there. And I distinctly remember I was just like looking at the lyrics of Little Willow when the news broke about Diana, and it was just the eeriest damn feeling, given what all that song was about too. It's just like instant chills, and I mean, it didn't even feel real in the moment. I was just like, I didn't even know what to make of it. I mean, I was still a kid when this happened. Like, I didn't know what to think of it or what to make of it, and it was one of those things where I think Eddie Izzard put it best when he described as feeling like a soap opera we were all watching, and then that happened. It's like, wait, but I was watching that, and you just canceled it, what? But like, yeah, that pretty much summed it up. But then all of just the media shitstorm that fell through, like, right after that was insane. I'd never seen anything like it. And then finding out they were going to televise the funeral, I was like, I never heard of any celebrity ever where that was a thing. I mean, I'm sure probably somewhere someone had, but I mean, this was like royalty on top of celebrity, like, absolutely insane to think about. And I don't think I had even ever been to a funeral yet at that age. I didn't know what to expect or anything, and I don't even know that I was necessarily initially even planning to watch it. But I think I was intrigued, and I know that I had liked Princess Diana, so I remember, like, I've always woken up crazy o'clock early in the morning anyway, but I was up early, and I think I went to just turn the TV on, and I don't remember what I was actually looking for, but this was on every channel. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna watch that then. And it hadn't started yet, exactly. It was all like the procession stuff leading up to it. And it was just the eeriest feeling. And then watching the actual ceremony, along with the royal standard that was draped over the coffin, and the card that just said mummy on it, that I don't think I even realized at that age that was like the British term for mommy. Like, I was just like confused, like, mummy, like the Egyptian things with the wraps? Why would you put that on Princess Diana's Scott? Is she mummified? Like, I was very confused. I did not have a clue. I feel so stupid now in hindsight. But it's also kind of funny now in hindsight too, thinking that I was just that dumb about it. But there were so many questions, and like the whole time, I don't know if I was expecting them to open the coffin on TV. I don't know why they would do that, especially given the car crash. Why on earth would that be open casket for anyone? Like, no, obviously that was not going to be a thing, but again, I had never seen one. I had never been to one. I didn't know how they worked. I didn't know what I didn't know anything about anything. So I think I had a lot of morbid curiosity going into it, to be completely honest. Obviously they did not open it, nor should they have. But the whole time, just the morbid curiosity of, oh god, are they going to? How bad's it gonna be if they do it? Like, was so freaked out, like, thinking about that. And just the whole time, like, every time they show the boys, like, I think I just lost my damn shit all over again, just sobbing. Like, I mean, the whole thing was sad, but just the fact that they were so young and they had lost their mom, and in such a way as that, it just, the fact that I'm not that much younger than Prince William, so I was kind of right in there age-wise. It really resonated and struck a chord with me. I just lost my shit. Remember being like inconsolable and sobbing over this. And partway through it, my mom woke up and like came out, and she was like, oh my god, what's wrong? And then she looked on the TV, and I don't think you should be watching this. I was like, no, I want to. I mean, I was 12. I was like, I'm going to. If you turn it off, I'm just gonna go in the other room and watch it in there. So she left it on, let me watch it. But yeah, I think she was alarmed at just how like upset I was watching it. And I watched every televised minute of that thing, let me tell you. Right down to after it and watching them drive the coffin off and everything, to obviously the untelevised part, and then being confused at why are they not showing the rest of it? Why are they not showing the burial? Why are just so many why questions that I think even having watched it, it left me with more questions than it had answered. And part of that's just young age and naivete of not knowing about those things yet. But so when this time rolled around for the Queen, I remembered how many hours were involved in watching that. So even though it was set to start like 2:30 in the morning here, because time zones with the UK, I was like, I think I should probably be up earlier than that to watch whatever is coming before that, because I can almost guarantee there's going to be stuff before it that they air too. So I just stayed up all night. Like, I did not go to sleep. I stayed up all damn night. And I was right to have done that, because there was all the processional stuff before it. I think it started at 1 something here, but I think there was even stuff before that, but that was when I tuned in. And all of just the marching and leading up to Westminster Abbey, which is where Diana's was. It was like, it's so deja vu, and with like the same flag over it, which again is the royal standard, so obviously, yeah, it's gonna be the same one, but just very eerie deja vu. And then seeing like a card on top of it and trying to see, does it say the same thing as Diana's? But no, apparently it didn't. I don't know what it said, but it did not say the same thing. I think I saw there was an article somewhere that said what it said, but I didn't click it, so I never saw what it does say. But regardless, just so eerie and like, woo, spooky. But such a larger turnout with so many just dignitaries from like world leaders and just important people from all over that were attending this one. It's just crazy. But I mean, this wasn't just Diana, this was the fucking Queen. So obviously makes sense. This one's gonna be an even bigger deal. Like, if I thought Diana's was big, oh, this obviously was far bigger, and again, deservedly so. feel however you want to feel about the royals, the monarchy, whatever, but I mean, you have to admit, this is something that we have never gotten to witness before, ever. And, like, in history, no royal funeral has ever let the public in to see as much of it as was televised for this. Like, parts that never would have been public previously, they made public this time. I appreciated that, and I think a lot of people appreciated that, but, the whole ceremony in Westminster Abbey was beautiful, and then there was the marching with the coffin on, what was it, the gun, what was it, the gun wagon is not the term, oh, why can I not think of it, but it was like that cart thing, and that they had like members of, I think, was it the British Navy, I want to say, that were pulling it rather than horses, because I think it was Queen Victoria who had horses for that, and they misbehaved. They like reared up and threatened to overturn the coffin. So, if you were unaware of that fact, yes, you can Google it. You can fact check that one. It was a whole thing. I actually didn't learn of that day of, even though they did mention it. I knew about that from the Ask a Mortician channel. She mentioned that a long time ago in a video. I don't remember what video exactly it was, but she did mention that, and I remembered it, so I was like, oh shit. But anyway, so there was that, and so much marching and parading and everything, and I stayed up and watched all of that. And when they finally transferred her into the hearse to drive her to St. George's Cathedral, and they said it's going to be like an hour to drive there. I watched a little bit of the drive, but I was like, okay, if it's going to be an hour of driving, if I'm going to sneak in a quick nap, this would be the time to do it. Unlike my 12-year-old self, I cannot easily pull an all-nighter the same way that I once did, but that's understandable, but pushing 40 over here, but regardless, just like the shortest of short naps, but regardless, apparently, like, I was drifting in and out, and, they were pretty much just, like, interviewing people that had memories of the Queen that had ever interacted with the Queen, so, I mean, yeah, it would have been cool to have heard them all, but at the same time, ultimately, I wasn't, like, missing anything, so, and then seeing that whole thing in St. George's Cathedral with them removing the crown and the scepter and the globe, that got me. But what got me worse than anything was before that, when they showed Emma her horse. That was the moment I fucking lost. I had actually held it together through all of it up until that point, till the moment I saw the horse. And then the moment I saw the corgis, if I thought I lost it over the horse, they only showed the corgis for a few seconds, but that's all it freaking took. I think probably because the very first question in my mind when I heard the Queen died was, so what's gonna happen to her corgis? Yeah, the dog lover in me came out strong on this one. Yeah, lost it bad over that, because those poor doggies don't know. They want to know where their mommy is and when she's coming home, no doubt. And the fact that she's not just fucking breaks me. And the fact that there is no way of explaining it to them just... yeah, that breaks me. But, so those made me cry, and then seeing them remove the articles from the coffin made me cry, and then seeing them lower the coffin made me fucking cry more. Just the finality of it all. But after having seen the articles removed from the coffin, made it really click in my head of just the humanity of this, in that she has now had the Queen, well, I don't know if the Queen title is, like, removed at that point, but, like, it's now almost like it reverted her back to a state of just being a human like the rest of us as of that moment. And now she's being buried just the same as anybody else. And I don't know, something about that just, like, I don't know how to put into words, like, the feelings that stirred in me, but it just, I don't know, did it, like, does anyone, like, know what I'm trying to say? I don't know how to put it into words at all, but, like, a lot of mixed and conflicting emotions in that, that I wasn't expecting to bubble up or to even hit like that. It really caught me off guard. Um, like, the only thing that we didn't get to see was, like, the literal interment at the spot where the coffin's going. That was reserved for the family, and honestly, I think that's fair. That they should still have something private solely for them. But, it's just interesting how many parallels there were to, like, watching the Diana one and now watching this, but how many things have changed, and, like, both in terms of how much bigger this one was than Diana's, as well as, like, with the internet age, like, any questions we had about this one, all you have to do is just Google it and you've got your answer like that. So there wasn't all the same mystery around this one as there was while watching Diana's. It just, like, it's very similar, but in the same token, in the same breath, also so different. It feels like both yesterday and a lifetime ago, and both feel valid, and I think are valid. Just thinking that number of years, how much the world has changed, that it is quite literally a different world now as this one happened than when it did with Diana. It's just so mind-blowing to think about. It just, I don't know, I kind of had, like, a little bit of an existential crisis when, like, taking in that whole portion of it, too, later on, you know, like, after I'd slept and all, but, because, yeah, after all was said and done, I slept, like, the entire damn day, pretty much. The other thing that made me cry was seeing the Queen's Piper, like, playing the lament and walking off out of the cathedral slowly. Like, that got me too. I didn't expect that to get me, but it got me. And I'm sure part of that was the way it was filmed, was very much meant to evoke exactly that feeling. So, I know I'm far from alone in feeling that one, but, oh man, just absolutely crazy to think about. But then the big difference of, like, after Diana, like, kind of life went on, but, like, ultimately, has anything really changed that much besides the fact that she's not here? No. Whereas this time, it's like, there's literally a king of England now. Never in my lifetime has there been a king of England. And saying God save the king, like, feels so weird and unnatural and, like, wrong almost. And knowing it's a monarchy, why do we have a king then? Like, I have nothing against Charles. I don't, but, like, it's such an odd feeling, and knowing that, like, the British currency is going to change to put his picture on it instead of hers, just something about that feels wrong and, like, tragic to me. But I mean, I get it. I get why they're going to, and, like, obviously, like, it logically makes sense, but, like, emotionally, I'm like, I have such conflicting emotions, and I don't even live there. I'm not even a British citizen. Why am I so invested in this? I don't know. I mean, not gonna lie, part of me wants to, like, beg any British friends of mine, could you, like, send me, like, some kind of, like, pound note? It can be, like, small currency that just has the Queen's picture on it, like, while it is still a thing, that it has hers on it rather than Charles's, because I'd kind of like that as a keepsake. Obviously, does not need to be big currency. It could be, like, the smallest one that has it on it. Like, I would be happy with that to hold on to as a keepsake, but, anyway. It's just weird to think about that, like, that has changed, and that means, like, Prince William is, like, literally next in line, ready to go, is, like, the next king after he's gone. And, like, again, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I always logically knew that's, like, the order of succession, but, like, now that it's here, it's like, I have really weird conflicting emotions about it, and so do a lot of people. And it's like, is it even gonna go that far? Are the British people gonna dissolve the monarchy before that ever happens? Because it sounds like people are kind of not really that on board with the whole Charles as king thing. It's like, okay, we liked it while Elizabeth was still here, but now that she's gone, do we really need the monarchy? It sounds like people are like kind of on board to like do away with it, and I'm like, don't do that. But at the same time, I'm like, I see both sides of the argument, I do, but like, I selfishly hope it sticks around. But anyway, I don't know. It's just weird thinking like, what a different world that is. Like that's even a possibility, and the fact that no one was even like talking like that while Elizabeth was here, and like suddenly like that's like on the table is a possibility. Whoa, like what the hell? The things that are happening and unfolding day to day that like I did not foresee coming. Like holy shit. I don't know. I don't know. There's just a lot of feelings about it all that I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one feeling them. I don't know if this is like a common normal thing that people are feeling. I don't know. I don't know. But it's interesting though, because I wasn't expecting to have all this like inner turmoil like feeling in its wake. Like I expected, like honestly, even before she went, I would obviously be sad over Elizabeth going. Like I always knew I'd be sad over it, but I wasn't expecting all these other emotions and other things to have cropped up for me to be feeling all these things on too. It's just so weird, but I guess that's where we're at right now. um I feel like I had more to say about this earlier, and now that I'm trying to remember what it was, my mind is all over the place and not remembering like the half of it. Probably because it's past midnight. Normally I would have been long asleep hours ago by this time, but again, here we are and I'm still awake. And I don't know why I'm still awake, but I am. So I'm talking to you guys because I am. So I'm gonna wrap this up because at this point I'm just babbling and don't have anything else constructive to say. But yeah, this one isn't so much necessarily a story time even. I don't even know. It like barely constitutes being remembering forgotten memories because, like I said, it's also half vlog too. Like it's kind of both. I didn't know which category to stick it in, but since it did harken back to Diana's and how young I was when that happened, I figured, I'll stick it on this side of the line rather than the vlog side of the line. But it is both. Like logistically, it's both. But anyway. What are your thoughts regarding all this? What are you guys feeling? Like, let me know in the comments. Like, am I the only one? Am I alone here? Like, am I in good company? Like, are there other thoughts that you guys are mulling over that I haven't even thought of? Like, leave it all down in the comments. And as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddit, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.